Hey listeners, welcome back to Subculture After Dark. Well, we're about to play a brand new track for you right now. The track's called Everything in Between, and it's from a band that we've played on this show before. They're called Evergreener, and we actually thought we would get Matt from the band on the phone tonight to chat a little bit about this amazing new track. Welcome to the program, mate.
Thank you so much for having me. Thanks for the kind words as well.
No problem. Now, mate, our listeners fell in love with your first single last year, and so they're definitely going to be looking forward to this one. Tell us a little bit about this track and what people can expect to hear on it.
Well, basically, this song it's a lot darker than the first single. It's kind of like your typical breakup song about a toxic relationship, but it's a lot more hard-hitting and a lot more sort of grungy than the Feel of Deciduous, which was the first track, or the first single, sorry.
Yep.
Which was a bit more upbeat. So this one takes a sort of a bit more of, that grungy sort of overtone with it.
It's got a bit of a 90s feel to it as well. Was that something that you guys were aware of when you were putting it together?
Yeah, definitely. I think at the point of writing the song, I was listening to a lot of Deftones and a lot of band called Narrowhead, which is very 90s inspired. So I think those sort of influences took a part of the writing.
Now, you talked a little bit about the theme of the track as well. It's quite a personal track for you. How did you find that experience writing from such a personal point of view?
It was a bit of a strange sort of time in my life where I just came out of a relationship, and it wasn't sort of something that I was bitter about writing. It was just sort of something that I found a lot of inspiration from and just decided to write it. And I feel like it's nice to have such a personal approach because then maybe someone else can sort of agree with it or relate to it then.
I was going to say that. Are you kind of thinking that there'll be people out there that'll listen to this track and go, I know exactly how he was feeling, or I'm going through that at the moment? Are you kind of ready for that as well?
I mean, it'd be sort of a interesting feeling to have people relate to it, even though it's only happened to me, but I feel like some people could definitely be like, yeah, I'm sort of going through the same thing, so I know how this person felt, and yeah, they relate to it and bond over that sort of subject matter.
You also worked with Bo McKee on this one. Tell us a little bit about how that working relationship with Bo started and what he's like to work with.
He's great. We have such a good time recording with him. We bounce so many ideas off each other, and especially with this song, we wanted to really layer it up, and he was just throwing ideas left, right, and center, and we were like, yeah, let's try it. And we've been working with him since 2017, so we've got a really, really good relationship with him.
Yeah. Afterthoughts as an EP, it had such a successful release. Did you guys feel any pressure getting back to record again, or did that actually spur you on to make you want to do more?
I think it definitely made us want to do more because we were so stoked with how it was received, and we're like, let's just keep going. And we've got so many ideas that we want to just get out there. And yeah, we'll just kind of we'll just keep going and see how the reception is afterwards, I guess.
You also got to work on your live shows, of course, as well, with some support acts against some pretty big bands. What was that like, being able to have that experience of supporting bands like No Bragging Rights and Belhaven?
It was awesome. We became really good friends with Belhaven, and even the guys from No Bragging Rights. They were great to see live, and it was such an honor to know sort of the magnitude of those bands and be able to share the stage with them.
So what are your plans now going forward? Are you hoping to get out there and do more shows? Can we expect more singles or another EP? What are the plans for the rest of this year and next year now?
I feel like it's all of the above, to be honest. We're stoked whenever we get to play a show, and we always try to play as many as we can. And we've got a bunch of new material coming out. We just actually filmed a music video for the new single on Sunday, actually, so that's exciting. And then we've got some interesting acoustic versions and remixes of some of the old songs, so got plenty in store.
Oh, that's pretty cool. What's that been like, going back and revisiting some of the old tracks? Has that been an interesting exercise?
For sure. Like we sort of like, because we play them so much, play them live and all that kind of stuff. We were like, how can we sort of celebrate these releases in a different way instead of just being like, oh, it's been a year or whatever. Like, how can we make it sort of different for the listeners and for ourselves as well? So it's been really cool to like muck around with some of the songs.
Well, mate, we can't wait to hear what you guys have got planned for the rest of this year. But right now on the show, we're going to play Everything in Between. So what would you like to say to all of our listeners out there before they take a listen to this track?
They definitely listen as much as you can. Show some support to all those bands that you heard, like No Bragging Rights and Bellhaven, as well as stream the song as much as you can.
Well, Matt, thank you so much for taking the time to chat to us today. It's been an honour having you on the show. But for all of our listeners, here is Everything in Between by Evergreener.